Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Ghost of Tsushima. I'm Serious JG. So last time I was talking about random nonsense and bullshit as ever. You're either riding with JG or you're not. Ride or die JG, because it's not. I'm not planning on changing my Let's Play habits anytime soon. But I have a lot of flaws as a Let's Player because I consider myself some dipshit who plays games and puts them on the internet because there are some people who like my style. But if I was a real pro quality Let's Player, I got a lot of flaws, and one of them is not always presenting a game in its best light by not always paying attention and not always shutting up when the characters are talking on the screen. I'm not. I'm here to play games and have fun, and you know, it's not necessarily presenting the game's best qualities in their best light. Why am I beating myself up? I'm not beating myself up. I'm just being honest. But something that happened last time is I spoke over a very important bit of dialogue, and then kind of backpedaled into what I thought I had missed. I didn't quite capture it. So what happened in the last video was that we did the Ghost and the Demon Sensei. We found out that Tomoe and the Mongol archers have been framing Sensei Ishikawa and Jin Sakai for killing travelers. What we found out was we came to an ambush where some woman was tied up and was told, she said, I could live until the samurai arrived, and then she gets shot because, yeah, it's an ambush that's been set up to kill us. And what we find out is that Lord Ishikawa, Sensei Ishikawa, had spoken to her. The her was not Tomoe. The her was this woman who, and they didn't name her, which I think is a bit of a, I don't know if it's an intentional thing where it's like, well, they're samurai, they're treating these common people like they're just commoners and not bothering to learn their names. Like, that could be an intentional artistic choice, but really it just felt like they didn't bother to name this NPC. There's a lot of NPCs that have stuff's been happening and we didn't bother to spend any time dwelling on who the NPC was. But in this case, Sensei Ishikawa talked to this person and who had said something about seeing a Japanese woman traveling with these Mongols and tried to get this woman to provide information. It's like, well, see what you can find out and report back to me when you know more. And Jin kind of blows up at this, that he's using this poor peasant woman and got her killed. It's not quite as bad as I thought. Like, I was thinking, oh, maybe he set this thing up where this woman was going to be part of a trap for Tomoe, and Tomoe reversed the trap to spring on us. Really, somebody already seemed to know something, and he asked her to dig around and try to find out more and got her killed. So that's not great, but at the same time, it's like, Jin Sakai he wants to be this Robin Hood who's going to, well, maybe the Straw Hat Bandits were going to be his merry men, but he's like this bandit hero riding around the countryside just doing all this cool shit to save everyone from the Mongols. And there's story elements of trying to gather allies, but he doesn't really seem to give a shit. The main story that I've been ignoring until we get further is get the people of Yarikawa to help, try to get samurai reinforcements from the shogun. I've been ignoring that and doing the side story content, but really it seems like, and this is a lot of the story of the game has been about this. Jin has this really romantic vision of who the samurai are, and various things are going on in his life to break him of that. And there's this ongoing conflict between him using these ninja-style tactics. We're never hearing the word ninja. I don't know if the word ninja was even in use at this time. But he's using these, guerrilla fighter tactics, which are practical and make a lot of sense, but they clash with his romantic image of the samurai, and even the samurai that he's encountering along the way, which includes both Sensei Ishikawa and Lady Masako. She is a samurai. Women can be samurai. Women who are samurai have very different expectations and requirements under samurai code than men, but they are still samurai. A woman who is samurai has infinite rights compared to a man who is not samurai in the old Japanese feudal society. So yeah, what I'm trying to get at here is there's this ongoing theme with Jin and figuring out, what the fuck does it really mean to be a samurai. So that scene plays a lot better now that I know what happened, and I kind of should have shut up and let it play because what Sensei Ishikawa did was like, I could see doing that. I could see, like, there's this guerrilla resistance forming against the Mongols. So you ask somebody to take a chance, and if it backfires and gets them killed, you don't feel good about it. But at the same time, you're like, well, I mean, was this woman doing what she thought she could do to help her country? Whereas Jin's like, no, you never allow powerless peasants. We are samurai. We have to get up and like be samurai. And Sensei Ishikawa, he's got a lot of faults. I am curious to find out what the resolution is. Like, are we going to find out he's really Tomoe's father? That's my suspicion. I don't know if that's where the story's going or not. But for all of his faults, he is being more realistic about how to fight the Mongols than Jin is. Even if he doesn't seem as interested in fighting the Mongols as he does in just dealing specifically with this one woman. The broader conflict that seems to be on the rise, that we might get back into later, is Jin's uncle doesn't seem to approve at all of how Jin is conducting himself. But we haven't touched on that in a while. Maybe that'll come back in the main story, or maybe that was just like a thing that passed as part of the background color. I don't know. Let's continue with Lord Ishikawa's story, and then we will get going with Lady Masako's story. We're going to want to go with this portion of the story next. And then after that, we just do side quests, and I don't know. Like, my intention is to have this place very nearly fully liberated before we move on. I like to full clear section by section as I go. A very leisure. Oh, hold on a second, but I spotted something. We have a question mark. We should go there.
I'm so mad at you for saying that I'm childish. It really just makes me want to throw my toys at you.
Let's get back into our traveling gear. In fairness, it doesn't seem like it would be comfortable to do a long walk with these like big plates of wicker tied to various parts of your body. And I will give Lord Ishikawa credit. He did the bulk of the work in that particular mission, and it really made it easier. In that last part. In the first part, I just ran around and killed everybody up close and personal, which was the right way to go in that situation. Lord Shimura's camp. Okay, well, it's... I briefly expected we were going to get a sign that said Mongol territory, but that wouldn't make sense, would it? It's Lord Shimura's camp. Maybe we'll actually find Lord Shimura there. I just mentioned him. I wasn't trying to be prescient. But I just mentioned how it's been a while since he's been part of the story, but that's actually part of the player choice open world aspect of this, because he never stopped being a part of the story. I just chose to ignore for as long as possible, and I'm continuing to ignore the main story that he's connected with. He's not part of these side stories, really. Trying to figure out how to get into Lord Shimura's camp and whether or not there's a reason to do so. Understandably, it doesn't have like a bunch of easy ways to get inside. It could be, you know what, I'm starting to believe this probably is part of a story mission that we are not currently doing, and therefore is going to be, if not empty, then almost empty. I guess we know that there's a trapper and a merchant, which is the default thing you will find in a little tiny base that isn't a big part of the story. But this is such a big fenced off area. There's got to be story content that relates to this place. Yeah, they're not making it easy to get in. It's from a gameplay perspective, you would think, from a lore perspective, oh yeah, I mean, we're at war. This camp might be friendly, but it's going to be made difficult to get into to prevent the enemy from getting in. from a gameplay perspective, you're like, they're making it difficult to get in because at some point later in the story, like, it will be taken over by the Mongols and we'll have to sneak in and fight them out or something. Fight it out. They have this thing where Mongol areas, they will say, this is an area of overwhelming enemy strength. And then if an area is not supposed to be under Mongol territory until later, it'll pop up as so. Or rather, it'll just be empty. And then when we go there for the story purposes, it'll suddenly be overrun with Mongols. But I guess the issue is I don't see friendly soldiers on patrol, and because the game doesn't usually give us those, it usually gives us villagers and stuff. And I also don't see that the gate is open, because if it's a friendly base, it should be difficult to sneak into any way other than the gate, but the gate should be open to us because we're, you know, part of the official Japanese military. We are a samurai fighting against the invaders. Whatever. Talking in circles. Let's get going with this next quest. Which again, based on what we've seen with other quest lines, this is probably going to be it for Sensei Ishikawa's quest until we open up the last area of the game.
Are you Lord Sakai?
Sure am. I'm here to murder you guys. Just Lord like Sensei Ishikawa and I are here to kill you all and steal your stuff. That's what we're all about. I almost feel like in here somewhere should be a dye merchant.
That's right, Sensei. Sakai.
What up? Oh, you know, I just realized something. I probably, with that silk I got, probably could have fully upgraded another armor. Because I've got 24 silk now, but it's 6 each. 24 divided by 6. Never a good idea to do math in your head, but I'm pretty sure 24 divided by 6 is 4. Exactly, which means I can afford to upgrade exactly 4. Because I think it costs the same to get up to level 4. So I've got more than enough. Yeah, 4 times 20, 80 leather. Got that. 4 times 30, 120 linen. Got that. 4 times 750 war garble supplies, but I've got over 4,000. So it looks like I can upgrade exactly 4 armors right now to level 4, assuming they are already at level 3, and everything I have is either at level 3 or level 4. Ronin attire would probably be the wisest one to do next. Tadayori, yeah. I don't see myself ever using Samurai Clan armor again. Because if you're fighting, depending on your style, Gosaku's armor is good if you want to get health back by staggering lots of enemies. And then Sakai Clan armor is good with the whole standoff streak thing. I guess Samurai Clan armor is good if you just want to be really good at defense. So Gosaku Clan's armor is more for like aggressive combat. Samurai Clan armor is probably still my best armor for dueling. Assuming the armors even affect how duels go. I'm not positive that they do. Either way, the armors that I'm actually using regularly are already at level 4. So the next time it pops up, we'll probably upgrade 1 or 2 armors and hold enough in reserve to upgrade any armors that we unlock going forward. Just immediately upgrade them to max.
Sensei Ishikawa, is all this Tomoe's work?
She and her Mongols have been busy.
She doesn't own the Mongols, you know.
Find her.
Lead the way.
Are you sending more peasant women to find her? Because that's backfired on us in the past. Or backfired on those peasant women, I should say. The thing is, the armor I spend most of the time wearing is this traveler's gear. Now it's just like it's sitting with me odd that I have so little reason to upgrade this armor when it's actually what I'm doing most of the time. Because all the level 4 upgrade will do was make the controller vibrate when I'm further away from an artifact than it currently vibrates. And oh man, I wish it said traveling clears. If it was like 35% more fog of war, I'd probably still jump.
How does she know where Tomoe's camp is?
I told her.
While foraging in the woods,
She's lucky to be alive.
Mm-hmm.
everyone with her was killed.
Oh, sounds like a trap. No, it really sounds like a trap.
Name Ran.
Juju Ron Ron, oh Juju Ron Ron.
Yes, my lords.
The Mongols who did this to you, they were led by one of our own.
Did they play for free online, my lord?
Tomoe. I'll never forget that face.
So pretty.
She used to ride with a group of thieves who lived here.
We caught her riding dirty.
Tomoe is from Umugi Prefecture.
She found her way here. Her bow terrorized Botswana for years.
Yeah, it sounds like she's been a bad egg for a while
She could knock a falcon from the sky, blindfolded.
with her voice
Where is it?
or her odor.
The forest southwest of here. But between the river and the western
A far green country off the western shore. Well, that doesn't sound so bad, Gordon. With a swift sunrise.
Damn her. The lessons I taught her,
Uh-huh.
the secrets I shared.
Yep.
All wasted. You old fool. Why does she lie to me?
Aww.
Tomoe
You're
never
distracted,
told you any
man.
of that.
Before we fought, I offered to adopt Tomoe as my daughter.
Oh, okay.
Make her samurai.
For someone like her, that's quite a change in fortune.
Yeah.
And I took it away
Ah.
She's a hired killer.
because her sensei failed her. She fell back into the life she knew.
It's one thing to wreck your chance at a better life, but to terrorize your own people.
I am aware, Sakai.
Well,
Are you?
huh.
Can I count on you to do what needs to be done?
To play for
We
free
have a
online.
camp to find.
But we didn't find out why he pulled back her chance to be
Stop
samurai.
She takes more lives.
That's kind of important part of the story. Why he offered that chance to her, why did he take it back? That's kind of important, I think. Did she do something terrible which made it clearly the correct decision? Did he do it over something petty and ridiculous? I mean, was this like a casting couch situation? What happened? I'll tell you this much. I'm legitimately interested because I keep making these wrong guesses. He offered to adopt her as his daughter. That still doesn't rule out the fact that biologically he is her father, and he was really offering to actually
The good news
quasi
is
recognize
Tomoe fell
that.
back to a place she knows because she's desperate.
She has the Mongol Empire on her side.
Yeah.
The more we damage her efforts, the more likely the Khan withdraws his support.
Yep.
We could use that to our advantage. Drive a wedge between them.
What if we did, and Tomoe abandoned the Mongol cause?
Well, no, she has to be punished.
After everything she's done, she deserves punishment.
Yeah, like I don't think you
Even
take her
if
on
she
as an
were
ally.
willing to fight for us.
Would you trust her?
No.
I don't think I chose poorly with that dialogue choice. I'm sure it doesn't change anything. But like I would feel like she's killed enough Japanese civilians at this point. I don't think she gets to come and be a babyface now. But who knows? Sergeant Slaughter betrayed America and became a good guy again.
It must have been years ago.
Back when he sided with Saddam
Her
Hussein.
team
Wrestling is so
and
stupid.
holding her own among bandits.
Difficult for someone twice her age.
Hmm.
You never suspected anything.
When she began her study with me, she hid a small blade in her sleeve, and she secretly hoarded food.
I can see how you could overlook those signs.
There were others. I wanted to make her my heir so badly. I'd lied
The
to
heir of
myself about
Slytherin.
the truth. The camp should be nearby.
Perfect terrain for archers lying in wait.
Yep.
Your eyes open.
Well, hold on. I've got special assassin vision, but only if my horse stops moving. Stop moving, horse! Nobu, bad. Okay. Alright, my assassin vision says we're okay until the story says we're not.
Dismount here.
This is where my assassin vision will kick in. Alright, well, I'll tell you what. We're in an area where it's not really doing any good to have the Traveler's attire on. So we'll switch to our Sakai clan armor in case I get the incredible opportunity to actually do a standoff. I kind of doubt we will, though.
Stay low and find a good place to scout the camp. Up here.
We've seen this before.
What do you see?
Survey says... Are they camped around beehives for no reason again?
Arrows.
Of course.
Bodies used for archery practice.
Of
Tomoe's
course.
signature. Shut this camp down. Keep your eyes open for Tomoe.
Ready when you are, Sensei.
I'll stay hidden until you strike.
Well, they just might be allowed to do a standoff, but... Doesn't look like I'm going to be allowed to do a standoff. Alright, well, if it's not going to let me do a standoff, then I just need to be ready for super murder mode. It looks like I could have done an assassin blow there. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to accidentally try to assassinate you, Lord Itsukawa.
She was seen here recently.
Boop! It said supplies for a minute. I thought it said rescue, which seemed odd. I guess I'll switch to traveler's mode just in case, or traveler attire just in case, because I saw... Yeah, I saw green stuff flickering around, which I thought might mean there's an artifact of some kind around here. And indeed there is. So I guess the little green things show up whether or not you have the traveler's attire on, but the rumble thing on the controller is only if you're wearing that. Bah. Lord of Night. And never mind, it's going to switch. I'll switch when combat is coming. So I didn't see unexplained beehives this time, but there were... I guess I could have shot like these things and made them explode with flame or something. But no, I'm pretty sure we were supposed to use ranged power to ambush. They have sticky bombs. It could be that sticky bombs were a thing that I was supposed to have used. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be searching the camp. I got distracted with nonsense. Tomoe isn't one of these dead bodies, is she? Look for signs of Tomoe. She leaves her bloomers lying around on the floor. She doesn't put them in a hamper. Alright, seriously, game, what do you want me to find and examine here? Not sure what I'm supposed to be looking for. A box where you could stick somebody in a box and have their head sticking out of it?
Sensei, over here.
I found whatever the game wanted me to find. Apple cores or something. Apples, I guess. Some kind of horse apples, Sensei. Road apples. Hey, Sensei, I said over here, man. What's going on? What's up with you? I'm sorry, have I not bowed to you recently enough? Aha! I tricked you, game. I painted slightly to the right because every time I try to bow, he reorients slightly to the left. So that time, I corrected. And by tricked you, I meant actually responded to learned information. You weren't expecting that of a serious JG.
The sensei and the ghost. I'm getting tired of you two.
Your archers are dead. It's over. Ambush.
Those archers were meant to be killed by us. Oh, okay, I guess we're...
Tomoe. I'll hold these fools off.
Oh.
Tomoe, this only ends one way.
Keep telling yourself that.
Never mind, I thought I was supposed to search which path was the correct path. I just had to keep writing. To now...
Nowhere to go, Tomoe.
Nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to hide.
You need to work harder, Lord Sakai.
She went this way.
Where's she going?
She leading me to an ambush? There's no way she could be leading me into an ambush. Oh, never mind. Oh, she's got like scary white fox mask.
So you're Lord Sakai, the sensei's new pet.
That will never work on me. That technique will never work. All I have to do is press down the L trigger or the L bumper and I will deflect your arrows. You must know this.
A gifted archer who had a chance at a better life.
Mm-hmm.
Threw it away.
Is that what he told you?
That's what he told me. I trust him implicitly.
So I can warn you to watch your back. My sensei tried to kill me. He'll try the same with you.
Thanks for the warning.
Look, he had a moment of weakness, and then he immediately fought it off. And then not only did you kill all the other students, you founded the Knights of Ren, which never really got properly explained. This is clearly the Star Wars sequel trilogy in ancient Japan.
But I'm here to end this.
It's already over.
Aw.
I have nothing. No one.
Put the bow down, Tomoe.
I know I said you couldn't join us, but I changed my mind because you're... Up.
Has she lost her mind? No sign of her. I should tell Sensei Ishikawa.
Well, she might have like ninja climbing ropes like we have. Or it could be that that was some kind of fake Tomoe, and Tomoe is like the real master bad guy of this whole game. To the point where she's got like decoy Tomoes who are willing to give their life to protect her. Oh, I guess it's not over yet. Oh my god, a standoff opportunity? Hold on. Let me get into my standoff clothes. I also want to check and see how much time's left in the video because I kind of lost track. No, good timing. It is time to call it a video. All right, when we come back next time, I get to do a standoff. Hope I don't screw it up. See you then.